from an IPO perspective, we have one IPO opening and two important ones listing as well. We had Swiggy, which listed at a premium to its issue price. The other one is Acme Solar, listing at a discount to its issue price. But from those levels, it has seen a bit of a recovery, but currently still holding with a cut of almost 6% as against its issue price of 289 odd rupees. Nikhil Dhingra, who's the CEO of the company, joins us to discuss the company's post-listing plans. Thanks a lot for joining in. Congratulations. It's a momentous day for your company. While the day is momentous, the big question is on your EBITDA run rate. I've been looking at, your EBITDA over the last few years that you've reported in your red herring prospectus. It has increased. And if you annualize the first quarter numbers, it comes to closer to 12 to 1300 crores this year itself. So where does that number grow, and what is a sustainable run rate quarterly for an EBITDA, for the EBITDA for a business like yours?
Right. First of all, many thanks for having us on the show. So in terms of our business, we are selling power in long-term contracts to the government, 25-year PPAs we have. And of course, as you know, in a renewable power, the good thing is there is a very low operating expense because it's a small maintenance of the plant, which is a very small number. So in effect, at the project level, you get a 90% plus EBITDA. And of course, when you are having a holding company, the operator overheads reducing, you get a more than 86-87% kind of EBITDA, which is fairly predictable. And of course, across our projects, this is the number we have been doing. So, our company is an aggregate of all the projects we run. And of course, we have a large projects in terms of the last year capacity. And now this year, we have operationalized 1.8 gigawatt of capacity. Last month. So of course, as you know, it's a very predictable revenue, but of course it increases in a quantum manner once you operationalize a new project. And that of course a new project is a very lump sum addition. And of course, as we move forward, we have a lot of projects coming up. So each of these projects it will add the EBITDA, let's say proportionate to the capacity we are adding. And as we move forward, let's say few years ahead, 2 years ahead, the tariffs are higher because we are doing firm and dispatchable renewable energy, hybrid power projects, which have a much higher tariff than the plain solar. So you will see that these numbers will go up. It's a very simple maths in terms of the tariff, and that is all reported because the revenue is a multiplication of generation and tariff. And as you see, the EBITDA will move as per the operationalization of the project. So the focus for all of us at the company always is to get our projects operationalized in the time and cost which we have budgeted for.
All right. Hi, Nikhil. Good morning and good to see you. And you mentioned predictable a few times in there. So you're going to be increasing capacity. I'm looking at your capacity. It appears that your capacity is going to go up by closer around at least 70-80%, right, in the next few years. I think you're talking about 6 gigawatt by December 2026. So fair to assume that the EBITDA number as well goes out proportionally, which means from around this 1100 crores, the number will look closer to around 1800 to 2000 crores. So mathematically, is it possible?
No, actually, it's a very PPA to PPA specific number. So it will be much higher than the number you said, because this number which you said will be reached almost by the capacity we are operationalizing this year and maybe the next year. So as you know, we have around 1800 megawatt peak of operational capacity in FY24, and this year we have already energized a 1800 megawatt plant. So effectively, our capacity has got doubled this year in terms of the megawatt peak. As we are moving forward, what is happening is these PPAs are FDRE. So the effective capacity which we are seeing is 6 gigawatt is effectively much more, because to produce 1 megawatt of a FDRE project, you need to install effectively 3 megawatts. Because you are giving a higher CUF, PLF in the thermal language. So basically, renewable does a CUF in solar around 30%.
Nikhil,
but FDRE project,
Nikhil, yeah, Nikhil, I can sense the passion that you have built this business, which is great news, and your understanding as well is par excellence. But the stock market would like to understand some numbers. As you're explaining to us, capacities are going up. So should we assume that in FY26, the EBITDA number will be more than 2,000 crores? Is that okay to assume?
So what I can say is that FY25 will have partial capacity because the capacity got operationalized in October. So we will have you can say a 35-40% jump in FY25 in terms of the numbers, because the partial capacity is operational for the partial year. Capacity will be fully operational, but it will be operational for a partial year. As we move to FY26, we will see the full impact of the capacity which we have operationalized this year. Right, so you can say that will be the number which you are saying will be seen in, let's say, 1700, 1800 odd will be seen in FY26. And of course, as we move to FY27 and 28, bulk of our capacities which we have signed will come online. So we will move from, let's say, this 3.67 gigawatt peak which we have today to a much larger number, which will be more in terms of contracted capacity around 6.3, but in terms of effective capacity around 9 gigawatts. So if you want to just multiply and assume a number basis gigawatt, that will be the number to look at, 9 gigawatt odd capacity, which will be a sum total of the renewable, the solar we put, wind we put, and the batteries we put. So that's where the number in FY27 and 28 will be much higher than FY25. Of course, as we move forward, we will evaluate how to communicate the same to the market, because it's a first day for us. So of course we have the tariffs and the commissioning dates mentioned, and the CUF also mentioned in our prospectus. So it's a straight match, but the number will be quite higher than the current number once we operationalize the projects which are coming up in by December 26, which you just mentioned.
Let's keep it very simple then. Your capacity, as you pointed out, is likely to more than double, right? Assuming that the prices are, a lot different from what they are right now, and they are perhaps at a discount to what they are right now, is it fair to still assume that your EBITDA can double once your entire capacity comes on stream? Let's put it that way.
Of course. It will. What I can say is it will more than triple. It will more than triple if whatever we have contracted and whatever is in.
By FY28, EBITDA number will triple in comparison to last year.
Yeah. FY28, if you assume the same EBITDA and the tariffs we have already got, it can triple.
So 3,000 crores is what we are looking at. Very quickly, what is the updated net debt number post this? You've raised some part of money, 1,800 crores.
Sorry, it will not. It will be. It will triple from. It will triple from FY25 numbers, so it will be much higher than 3,000. So it will be definitely much higher than 3,000.
All right, we'll take that point. Thanks a lot, Nikhil, for joining in. We'll obviously have a lot deeper conversation at a much later date, perhaps when you report your first quarterly results as well. For now, we'll let you, enjoy the day one of listing on the stock markets as well. Speaking about day one, it's...
For more news and updates, all you need to do is follow CNBC-TV18 on all of our digital platforms.